Do not scroll. The moment you opened this, a vibration shifted in the celestial realm. You didn't feel it, but the moment your gaze landed here, an angelic messenger breathed, "At last, they have arrived." The divine has been signaling to you. You sense it, that faint tug in your spirit, that soft pressure against your heart. This time, it is distinct. Archangel Michael has held a specific word for exactly 45 minutes, waiting for this precise moment to reach you. If you dismiss this now, if you close this tab as before, a crucial juncture may pass silently into the void. You think skipping this is inconsequential, but what if you knew that heaven gently bent the clock just so these words could find you, in this exact place, at this exact time? Many overlook these prompts. But you were selected to see this specific message. Not by accident, not by algorithm, but by sacred synchronicity. Because an event is destined for your life that no one has forewarned you about. And Michael confirms it is nearer than your next thought, ***. Let me ask you plainly, do you know how many silent nights the divine witnessed your tears, withholding the answer only because this moment was not yet ripe? You plead for signs, yet when they appear, you hurry past. Please, do not cause sorrow by bypassing this again. Do not turn away today. A preparation has been underway for you, something unforeseen, something holy, and it hinges entirely on what you choose in the coming minutes. Michael says, "Beloved, I have witnessed the ache in your soul. I know your weariness, but you do not comprehend your proximity to the very change you have implored heaven to send. There is a purpose this found you today. Perhaps your heart has felt peculiar lately, as if something approaches. Perhaps last night, sleep eluded you because your spirit already knew. This is that moment. The sensation you felt is not imagination. It is real, and its arrival is swift. Sparkles if you felt chills as you read that was not a draft. That was celestial confirmation that this is meant for you. And if your spirit feels on the verge of tears, it is because your soul has just recalled a memory it had buried. Sparkles. The divine is whispering to you at this very instant. Can you hear it? No. That is all right. For Michael is here to translate. He says, your name was inscribed in a luminous record just 45 minutes ago. A decree was issued concerning you, and you were unaware. That is why this message could not be delayed. That is why the divine propelled it into your path. For what is about to occur will alter your future in ways you have not dared to envision. You may not know this, but someone from your past, yes, that one, is thinking of you right now. They do not understand why, but their spirit is unsettled. Heaven is pulling at their heart because a thread between you was left unknotted. Michael says, you were not destined to reconnect until this moment was prepared. Now, it is. I need you to pause. For 1 second. Breathe. Look around you. Does the atmosphere feel subtly different? As if the very air has altered its charge. That is not merely a feeling. That is spiritual tension. Angels are encircling you at this moment. One is stationed directly behind your left shoulder. Do not turn. Simply know they are guarding you, because tonight, a transition will commence. Love letter. Before you continue, take a moment to subscribe or follow this channel, for Archangel Michael has more to convey. This is not the only message. Missing the next could mean missing a miracle. Love letter. You were not meant to skip this. That is why your connection did not falter. That is why distraction did not steal your focus. Because heaven ensured your attention would lock into place. Do not betray that divine alignment. Something is preparing to knock at the door of your life, spiritually, emotionally, perhaps even physically. And if you are not attentive, you will miss it. Michael says, a courier from the higher realms has been dispatched. You cannot see them, but they are already en route. I understand this may sound intense, but have you wondered why this restlessness has taken hold? Why you feel this strange blend of trepidation and anticipation? As if something monumental approaches, yet you cannot name it. That is spiritual awakening. And Michael says, you are no longer who you were. Your evolution is accelerating. That is why people have departed. That is why emotions have felt dense. Your new season has arrived. The divine is not angry with you. But there has been sorrow. Sorrow because you continually bypass the very messages meant for your healing. Sorrow because you claim to desire change, yet flee from its agents. Sorrow because a door is being opened for you, yet your hands remain clenched around a lock that has long since rusted shut. This message is your divine key. And if you release your grip now, you will step into a room filled with answers. Let me reveal this. Michael says an event will transpire within the next 7 days that will initially feel like a storm, sudden, rapid, disorienting. But it is not an attack. It is a reset. A divine intervention. A door slamming shut with such force it will rattle your foundations, only because a far more powerful door stands waiting behind it. One you had forgotten existed. You are not losing your mind for feeling observed. You are not imagining the whispers in the quiet hours or the recurring dreams of a familiar face. These are not coincidences. This is your spiritual radar activating. Archangel Michael says their soul has called out to yours while you slept. And if you have been waking between 3:00 and 4:00 a.m., now you understand why. Listen closely. Someone is about to message or call you. Their words may seem mundane, but nestled within them will be something concealed, a confession, a truth, a secret that changes everything. You must be spiritually prepared, for if you dismiss them too quickly, you will miss the revelation. Heaven has been reorganizing the timeline of your life to grant you another chance. You were not supposed to receive this opportunity again. But Michael appealed for the door to be opened one final time for you. And the divine consented. But only if you respond. Only if you open your spirit and permit this message to reach your heart, not merely your screen. There is a presence in the celestial realm who speaks your name repeatedly. A relative, a soul you cherished. They are watching, and they assisted in delivering this message to you. That is why it feels familiar. That is why your chest feels weighted now. It is not sadness. It is a spiritual reunion. You were not forgotten. You are being prepared. And now, it is time. Thank you. Now, breathe slowly, for what follows will reach deeper into your soul than anything you have encountered this year. Allow Archangel Michael to guide this moment. He stands beside you, not in fantasy, but in unseen reality. His wings are spread around your energy field, and he is whispering to your spirit. They do not realize they are standing at the precipice of a miracle. Yes, a miracle. And not merely any miracle, but one postponed for years because you were not yet ready. But a shift occurred recently. A few days ago, perhaps you felt subtly different, more emotional, more sensitive, more perceptive. That was not random. That was your spiritual vision clarifying. You were not meant to see this message until that part of you had awakened. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, what if I told you that something you wept for last year is finally arriving, yet it wears a disguise?" That is why this moment is critical. For what approaches your life will not initially resemble a blessing. You may be tempted to reject it. But I implore you, do not dismiss it hastily. The person, the opportunity, the change, it bears heaven's signature. You must discern it when it appears. Have you ever been achingly close to something good, only to have it dissolve? That was not failure. That was spiritual protection. You were not rejected, you were rerouted. For had that thing remained, it would have extinguished your inner light. The divine never intended to lose the authentic you. That is why so many departed. Why so many doors slammed shut. Because heaven knew you were destined for a grandeur far beyond what you were settling for. At this moment, the angels are silent yet vigilant. Your spirit is listening differently today. You are open. This is rare. This is potent. When your spirit listens instead of your ego, that is when the divine speaks most clearly. And Michael is conveying something very few will ever hear: the storm you are in is not meant to break you. It is meant to awaken you, because something has been concealed from you for too long. There is an individual who has hidden their true feelings from you. Not for days, but for years. They have watched from a distance. They have swallowed their truth because fear had a chokehold on their voice. But the time is approaching when heaven will compel them to speak. Their words will tremble. Their eyes will glisten. What they reveal will shake you. Be ready. Be calm. Be discerning. For all they have withheld is coming to light. Michael says, this person has dreamt of you more nights than you know. Each time they wake, they wish to tell you, but they stop. That is why you sense their presence abruptly. That is why songs suddenly feel like memories. That is why your chest tightens without cause. Their spirit is seeking yours. And let us speak of provision. For the divine sees your anxiety. You portray bravery, smiling for others, but heaven knows your hands tremble in private. Yet Michael declares this with resonance in his tone: financial lack will no longer dictate your peace. Heaven is orchestrating a shift in your material life, but not through the path you anticipate. Something unusual, something overlooked, something quiet is about to emerge. A letter, an agreement, a person, a call. It will seem minor at first, but that moment will unlock more than you can currently fathom. You will look back at this very message and say, that was the confirmation. Do not surrender. Not now. Not when your name was just spoken in a divine council 45 minutes ago. Yes, truly. Your full name. And in that council, the divine smiled. It was said, my child still believes in love. That single phrase altered the trajectory. For heaven only accelerates miracles for those who retain belief. Even if it is merely a flicker. And you still possess that ember. Even in your doubt, even in your fatigue, Michael sees your light, and he is prepared to champion it. Now, listen with care. I will share something that may sound unusual, but your spirit will comprehend. You are not irrational for speaking to the emptiness when alone. You are not irrational for feeling observed in solitude. You are not irrational for sensing time warp around you lately. You are evolving. You are being summoned. The reason your heart feels torn in opposing directions is because heaven is separating the counterfeit from the authentic. Yes, certain people are about to exit your life abruptly. Do not plead for them to stay. They were part of your preparation, not your destination. Release them with grace. A person is entering your life soon who will love you with a profound honesty. You may feel fear initially, fear because you are unaccustomed to peace. But Michael says, this individual was fashioned with the shape of your soul and mind. That is why the connection will feel surreal, because it is not of this world. Do not rush. Do not pursue. Simply remain receptive. Be kind. Be present. Heaven is sending something that requires no chase. It will arrive of its own accord. Now, if you are still reading, it signifies you are chosen. Yes, you. Not everyone was destined to find this. Not everyone possesses the patience to complete a spiritual communication of this length. But you did. That means your heart remains supple. That means the divine can still work through you for miracles. That means Archangel Michael has been awaiting your arrival at this exact moment to whisper this truth into your soul. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too anything. You are precisely on time, asterisk asterisk. And here is something else Michael wishes you to know: someone will attempt to contact you soon, feigning normalcy, but their energy will feel dissonant. Trust your intuition, for behind their smile lies an unspoken agenda. Do not fear. Merely observe. Heaven will furnish you with the appropriate words at the appointed time. Now, before you proceed, the divine awaits your response. Not a grand gesture, not a dramatic act, just one small moment of authenticity. If this message has reached you, do not let it dissipate unused. Whisper back. Even a silent prayer resonates loudly in heaven. Even a tear is a melody to the angels. Simply let it be known: I received it. I am ready. I believe. For this is the moment. The doors are opening. The angels are watching. And everything is about to change. Thank you for remaining with this message. That alone demonstrates something powerful: your soul is listening, and Archangel Michael is still here, awaiting the completion of what heaven initiated. The final portion of this divine communication is where the miracle seals itself. Where prophecy becomes personal. Where your life begins to move anew. Archangel Michael now turns slowly. His wings stretch wide like ignited gold, shielding your future from the energies that once sought to bind it. In his final gaze toward you, he speaks words that part the veil. This was not a warning. This was an invitation. And you answered. That is what distinguishes you from the rest. Others witnessed the signs and scrolled past. Others felt the pull and chose doubt. But you heard the voice and leaned in. You listened. You trusted. You said, yes. And now, heaven is rewarding you in ways your imagination has yet to grasp. What is coming is ineffable. You will receive correspondence bearing words like, approved. You will rediscover documents with your name that were once lost. People will offer apologies unprompted. You will perceive the atmosphere in your home shifting, heavier with peace, lighter with confusion, because the very air is responding to your alignment. And beloved, never again will you walk in fear. Never again will you chase others for validation. Never again will you lower your vibration to match rooms you have outgrown. You are ascending. You are activating. You are now the living fulfillment of a heavenly promise, asterisk asterisk. Therefore, tonight, when the world grows quiet, do this. Light a candle. Close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart and whisper to the divine. Thank you for trusting me with what others rejected. I am ready. I receive this, and I will never again bypass my miracle. Then, listen. For you may just hear Michael's voice once more, not in thunder, but in stillness. And it will sound something like this. You have finally arrived. And we have been waiting for you. Now, the scroll is closed. The message is sealed. The angels are singing. And your new life, it has already begun. And now, beloved, as the stars above shimmer with renewed intent and the veil between earth and heaven glows with a soft, golden breath, Archangel Michael speaks one final time, not with urgency, but with a deep, eternal calm. His voice now carries the sound of completion, of destiny fulfilled, of your name, written, spoken, protected in the language of angels. Because you did not merely hear this message. You became it. You are the living scroll now. The walking miracle. The whispered answer to prayers uttered by someone long past but never forgotten. They always knew you would see this day. That is why they entrusted the angels. That is why they entrusted Michael. That is why they entrusted you. For they perceived something in your spirit that others overlooked. And heaven never missed it. You may still feel unworthy at times. Still feel too fractured, too bewildered, too far behind. But let Michael tell you now, once and for all. There is nothing wrong with you. You were simply awaiting your appointed hour. And this is your hour, asterisk asterisk. The ultimate inheritance is not an object. It is a truth. A remembering. A divine awakening that proclaims. You are loved. You are safe. You are home, asterisk asterisk. Now, that chronic ache you have carried for years begins to dissolve. That shame you buried so deeply starts to fall away. That weight you were never meant to bear is being lifted, even now, because you opened this message, and that single act rewrote the narrative. Heaven is already reorganizing circumstances behind the scenes. People are waking with your name upon their hearts, feeling a sudden need to reach out. Documents are being placed into envelopes with divine timing. Keys are being moved nearer to your grasp. You will begin to feel shielded in environments that once drained you. You will feel drawn to paths that align with your highest self, because your inheritance was never solely about receiving. It was about becoming. Becoming the person your ancestors prayed you would be. Becoming the version of yourself who does not diminish. Becoming the reason future generations will not inherit your pain. Michael's ultimate gift is not gold. It is not property. It is sight. The capacity to perceive clearly now. To see who is genuine. To see what is truly for you. To see what is next. To see the version of yourself that heaven always knew you could be. And as you step away from these words, you do not walk alone. You walk with scrolls inscribed in light. You walk with angels who will not let you fall again. You walk with the full momentum of heaven behind you, and nothing ahead but miracles. Tonight, you will sleep differently, not in fear, but in fullness. You may dream of water, of light, of wind. These are signs. For the storm is over. The letter has arrived. The seal is broken. And your life will never be the same. You are not merely receiving an inheritance, beloved. You are becoming the living proof that heaven keeps its promises. Dove sparkles. Now, it is done. Archangel Michael has spoken. Heaven has delivered. And you, child of destiny, have finally answered. Heaven did not impart this solely for you. You are the vessel. When you walk in your blessing, others will realize they, too, were never abandoned. You are the sign. You are the symbol. You are the reminder that the divine remembers, asterisk asterisk. Michael wishes for you to declare this aloud tonight, even if only a whisper. I accept my inheritance. I forgive those who tried to block it. I am ready for the life heaven wrote for me. Speak it. Feel it. Breathe it in. For as you do, you will notice a shift in the atmosphere, a stillness, a peace, an energy enveloping your space. That is not imagination. That is angels sealing what was given, protecting what was activated, covering what has awakened within you. Michael now steps back. His message delivered. His promise fulfilled. Yet he leaves you with one final instruction. Do not forget who you were before the world made you doubt. Return to that essence. Therein lies your power. Therein begins your miracle. And beloved, the remainder of your story, it will be glorious. For the letter that was hidden is now yours. The secret that was buried is now revealed. The inheritance that was delayed is now released. And the angels who were waiting are now rejoicing, because you made the choice. You opened this. And heaven opened everything for you in return. And so, beloved, As heaven's winds settle and the final echoes of this sacred message resonate within your soul, Archangel Michael offers one last, silent bow, not from duty, but from love. Because you did not just listen. You received. You did not just open your eyes. You opened your spirit. And that changes everything. You cannot fathom the ripple this moment has caused in the unseen. A chain has been severed. A curse has been lifted. A forgotten vow has been reactivated. And your name is now encircled in light. Michael regards you now not as a stranger, but as a divine companion. The one who has witnessed your story unfold from the periphery, restraining emotion each time you questioned your worth. And now he smiles. For you finally see what he has always seen. You were always worthy. You were always chosen. You were always the rightful heir, ***. So much of your pain originated from not knowing this. But now you know. And no one can ever take that from you again. The spiritual inheritance has been claimed. The letter has been opened. And the soul who sent it, they are dancing in the celestial realm. You may feel them tonight, in a gentle breeze, a faint whisper, a flickering light. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. That is their way of saying, you heard me. Thank you. And Archangel Michael, he is not departing. In the nights to come, he will continue to watch over you. He will place divine signs along your path, feathers, sequences of numbers, unexpected encounters, forgotten songs. These are not trivialities. They are sacred reminders, that your inheritance is active, your timeline is adjusting, and your future has been rewritten by the hand of the divine itself. From this day forward, observe how people engage with you differently. Observe how the energy shifts when you enter a room. Observe how you suddenly decline what you once tolerated. For when heaven crowns a soul, the world senses it. And you, beloved, you have just been crowned. Here is what to expect. Sudden resolution in a long stagnant situation. Provision from a forgotten or unexpected source. A communication that begins with, "You're not going to believe this." A rise in your personal energy, even if external circumstances remain unchanged, because your soul knows the shift is real. And when doubt attempts to infiltrate, simply whisper. Michael already delivered it. I have nothing to fear. For from this moment forward, you walk under divine covering. Your home is guarded. Your future is assured. Your blessings are now in pursuit. And those who once plotted against you will have no choice but to witness your ascent, not in vengeance, but in revelation. For your life is now the message. You are the proof that the divine makes no errors. You are the evidence that heaven always delivers, even if it requires years. You are the living letter. And the scroll, it is no longer in Michael's hands. It is in yours. Signed. Sealed. Delivered. Now, beloved, as heaven's final light wraps gently around your spirit, Archangel Michael whispers the words once forbidden to be spoken aloud, words bearing the full weight of every denied miracle, every shielded truth, every delayed blessing. He says, you are not merely the heir. You are the keeper of what was lost. Let that echo within your heart. You are the keeper of sacred things. Of ancestral prayers. Of divine blueprints drafted before time began. Of a future that another tried to script in your stead, and failed. Because your soul refused to perish. Because your heart still whispered, yes, in the darkness. Because even when your knees trembled, you remained standing. Because even when you were invisible, you still believed. And heaven took notice. You see, child, this was not merely a message. It was a transaction. A heavenly accord. A spiritual unlocking. And when you reach the end of this scroll, something ancient opened within you. You will sense it in the silence. In your sleep. In the way strangers regard you. In the sudden clarity filling your mind. You will awaken one morning soon and realize you are not the same. For heaven cannot touch a soul and leave it unchanged. And heaven has just touched you. Michael now turns, his wings stretching wide like golden fire, shielding your future from all that once sought to bind it. In his final gaze, he speaks the truth that parts the veil. This was not a warning. It was an invitation. And you answered. That is what sets you apart, asterisk asterisk. Others saw the signs and scrolled past. Others felt the pull and chose doubt. But you heard the voice and leaned in. You listened. You trusted. You said yes. And now, heaven is rewarding you in ways your imagination cannot yet conceive. What is coming is inexplicable. Emails with words like, approved. Papers bearing your name, once lost, now found. Apologies arriving unbidden. A tangible shift in the air of your home, heavier with peace, lighter with confusion, as the very atmosphere aligns with your frequency. Beloved, never again will you walk in fear. Never again will you chase understanding from those who cannot offer it. Never again will you lower your resonance to fit spaces you have outgrown. You are ascending. You are activating. You are now the living fulfillment of a heavenly promise, asterisk asterisk. So tonight, when the world grows quiet, do this. Light a candle. Close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart and whisper. Thank you for trusting me with what others rejected. I am ready. I receive this, and I will never again bypass my miracle. Then, listen. For you may just hear Michael's voice once more, not in thunder, but in stillness. And it will sound something like this. You have finally arrived. And we have been waiting for you. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too anything. You are right on time. Heaven is awaiting your response, not a grand performance, but one small moment of authenticity. If this message reached you, do not let it fade unused. Whisper back. Even a silent prayer is a roar in heaven. Even a tear is a symphony to the angels. Simply let it be known. I received it. I am ready. I believe. For this is the moment. The doors are opening. The angels are watching. And everything is about to change. Thank you for staying. That alone proves something powerful. Your soul is listening. And Archangel Michael is still here, prepared to complete what heaven began. The final segment is where the miracle seals itself. Where prophecy becomes personal. Where your life begins to move anew. You need to understand, the divine is nearer to you now than it has been in a very long time. That is not hyperbole. A recent action of yours, perhaps an act of kindness, perhaps a decision to persevere, shifted something in the spiritual realm. Michael says, heaven observed it. And immediately, realignments began in your favor. You may not feel it yet, but you are in the midst of a divine transaction. A moment where unseen blessings are being assigned to your name. They are not visible, but they are already en route. That ache in your chest, that stirring in your core, that is not anxiety. That is the spiritual realm moving on your behalf. And here is what you must not ignore. There is a place you are being guided to leave. A relationship, a mindset, an environment. You already know what it is. You have been awaiting confirmation. This is it. Heaven says, walk away. And in time, you will understand why it had to end. You are not losing. You are being delivered. You are not being punished. You are being promoted. Michael implores you, do not delay this decision again. Each past hesitation caused the blessing to pause, not as punishment, but as protection. For the divine will not place something sacred into hands still clutching something destructive. You know precisely what that something is. This is your moment of release. Your hands were not fashioned to cling. They were fashioned to receive. So open them now. Your miracle is yearning to reach you. Michael leans close and whispers tenderly. Tell them heaven desires to reward their obedience, not their perfection. You need not be flawless. You need only say, yes, to what is right, and walk away from what is slowly killing your joy. That single act of spiritual courage will be the pivot upon which everything turns. Now, listen carefully, for this is delicate. There is something you lost. It still visits your thoughts at night. A person. A dream. A version of yourself. You wonder if it will ever return. Heaven says, you will not get back what you lost. You will receive something better, ***. Better does not always resemble what you pictured. Sometimes it appears quieter, softer, gentler, more stable. Do not mistake peace for monotony. Peace is sacred, and it is what the divine is ushering into your life now, a peace that does not require your suffering. That is why structures are crumbling. Why people are revealing their true nature. Why old cycles feel intolerable. Your soul has outgrown the chaos. Your spirit is craving stillness, ***. And Michael says, peace is coming. Even if it enters first like a tempest. You are not alone. Say it aloud, I am not alone. For the adversary wants you to feel abandoned. But the divine never left you. In fact, the moments you felt most forsaken were when angels stood closest. For heaven does not always arrive with fanfare. Sometimes, it arrives in silence. In a breath. In goosebumps. In messages like this. Now, the ultimate truth. There is someone who has observed your journey from the periphery. Not with malice, but with divine intent. They have loved you longer than you realize. Soon, heaven will bring their name to the surface. But Michael says, wait. Do not rush. The truth will reveal itself. Let it come to you. Do not chase. Do not speculate. Merely prepare. For this connection, this person, is tethered to your next level. They were concealed because you were not yet healed enough to steward it. But you have grown. You have mended. You are different now. And when the moment arrives, your spirit will recognize theirs. It will feel like remembrance, not discovery. It will feel like home. So, do not relinquish hope. Do not shut down. Do not silence your spirit. For at this very moment, heaven is inscribing your name into blessings. The divine is speaking promises over your life. Archangel Michael is guarding your path. And this message is the proof. Rose, if this has touched you, if your spirit feels seen, then do not keep it to yourself. Let heaven know. Whisper thank you. Breathe. Remain open. For tonight, something is coming. And your soul will be ready. Now, close your eyes for a second, not to escape, but to receive. For Michael is still speaking. Beloved child of the Most High, you stand on sacred ground. Do not fear the change. Do not flee from the new. Do not dread the silence. For in that stillness, the divine will speak. And you will finally hear, ***. And so it is. Thank you for remaining through every sacred word. That alone confirms what heaven already knew about you. Your heart is open. Your spirit is strong. And your name is marked with divine favor, ***. Archangel Michael declares this final portion is no longer merely a message. It is a prophetic transfer. Meaning, once these last words enter your heart, your atmosphere will begin to shift in tangible reality. Quietly. Invisibly. Then, suddenly. You are about to step into something you did not petition for, but that your soul has eternally longed for. A blessing you forgot you desired. And yet, when it appears, it will feel like something you have always known. That is heaven's way, it conceals the future within familiar sensations, so you will recognize its authenticity when you feel it in your bones. Michael wishes you to remember this. When the divine is poised to bless you, everything grows quiet. People depart. Energy shifts. Doors close. Do not panic. That is the sound of heaven preparing your miracle. Do not resist the silence. For within that stillness, something sacred is arriving. And now, a spiritual secret entrusted to very few. The reason time has felt distorted lately is because it has been. Heaven has gently altered time to ensure this message reached you before a specific celestial hour. Michael says it had to arrive today, for a shift in the spirit realm is scheduled for your life within hours. That is why sleep escaped you last night. That is why you checked your device without reason. That is why your emotions have been volatile. Your spirit already knew what your mind could not explain. Heaven has been whispering. Now, it is speaking aloud. This is not merely comfort. This is an assignment. You are being called out of your comfort zone and into your divine zone. Michael is placing spiritual keys into your hands now, keys you cannot see, but that will unlock tangible doors. Anticipate messages. Unexpected individuals. Coincidences, too precise to be random. These are signs of alignment. If you follow them, they will lead you to your promised season. Yet, with every blessing comes a test. Michael gently warns, the adversary will attempt to distract you. Immediately after this concludes, you may feel fatigue. You may feel doubt concerning all you have read. That is how you know this was authentic, the enemy only attacks what holds power. So, if your mind spirals, pause. Recall this truth. Reject the falsehood. Anchor yourself here. You are not who you were. You are becoming who you were born to be, ***. Let us briefly envision your future, for Archangel Michael beholds something beautiful there. He sees laughter returning. Purpose restored. Passion rekindled. Love that does not wound. A home that feels safe. A life that fits your soul. You need not chase this. You need not force it. Simply align. Simply flow. Simply remain faithful, ***. The individual the divine has for you is also healing at this moment. Do not relinquish hope for them. They are learning to love themselves, so they may love you properly. Forgive them for requiring time. Heaven is not late. It is strategic, ***. Now, for the final release. There is an object in your home, perhaps near your bed, perhaps in a drawer, that holds energy tied to your past pain. When this message ends, I urge you to find it. Hold it. Then ask, does this represent who I was, or who I am becoming? If it is the past, release it. For your future is too significant to bear deceased weight. Michael says, your energy must resonate with your destiny. And that commences today. Before you depart, breathe this truth into your heart. I am not behind. I am not cursed. I am not forgotten. I am precisely where the divine needs me to be. And everything I lost is being returned in a higher form. Declare it again if needed. Inscribe it. Embed it in your consciousness. For this is not merely a message. It is a covenant. And now, heaven smiles. Michael lowers his sword. The angels begin to sing your name softly in the spirit. A gentle light forms around the timeline of your future, luminous, tender, resilient. You have endured the delay. You have passed the test of stillness. Now, it is time for motion. The miracle is in motion. And by the time the sun next rises, something within your life will feel fundamentally different. You will understand why. For Michael told you first. And so, it shall be. Yes. Let us complete this final passage with power, love, and profound spiritual closure. For Archangel Michael is not yet finished. This is the most sacred segment, where the blessing touches earth. Now that your soul has listened, now that you have remained through every word when most would have clicked away. Michael says. This one is serious. This one is ready. Heaven has been seeking someone like you. Someone who still believes, despite a fractured heart. Someone who still prays, despite trembling hands. Someone who still opens divine messages, despite the fear of hoping again. That is why this message had to reach you today. For the celestial clock began its count from 45 minutes, not for theatricality, but for prophecy. You were scheduled to awaken. And now, you have. Michael says, tell them they did not miss it. They were delayed. Yes. But never denied. That delay was not punishment. It was preparation. And now, the thing you wept for that did not arrive, it is coming. But in a different form. A superior form. A form that does not leave you bewildered, exhausted, or lost. A blessing that knows how to remain. Something unforeseen will transpire within the next few days. It will startle you, not because it is adverse, but because it is exactly what you needed, though you never requested it. Michael cautions, be mindful with whom you share this, for not all will rejoice in your breakthrough. Some cherished you in your brokenness, but will vanish during your ascent. Release them. Their season is complete. Their purpose was provisional. Your spirit is ready to expand beyond the small circle you have occupied. You were not created to fit in. You were created to lead, ****. That is why you have always felt distinct. That is why superficial discourse drains you. That is why you can no longer feign interest in trivialities. It is not arrogance. It is spiritual evolution. You are altering your frequency. And that is not effortless. But you are not solitary. There is a presence overseeing you now. Their form may reside in heaven, but their love remains here. They are part of the reason this message discovered you. They whispered your name to the angels. They pleaded for your protection. They cried, please, do not.